Hi, hello, and welcome to my channel. My name is SinCitySarah. Thank you so much for being here today. I am doing my very first story time with you guys. I'm so excited to sit down and honestly just roast myself in this story. It's been quite a few years now. I feel like I'm in a better place over it. I could look back, I can laugh at this situation. This is the story time about me wanting to meet Luke Rockhold so badly. It is about the entire situation, how it went down. So if you are interested in hearing about this embarrassing story to me of how I once tried to meet Luke Rockhold and ended up turning into a complete Karen, then please stay tuned. Please keep on watching. We're gonna get right into the video. So this is it. This is my Luke Rockhold story. I am going to fast forward a little bit, give you a little bit of a backstory here. The year is 2016. I am just starting to kind of pay attention to the UFC fights that have been playing in my house every weekend for the past however many years before that. I'm finally starting to find my own interest in the sport. I'm starting to learn about the fighters. So one of the very first fighters that I noticed in the UFC was Luke Rockhold. During this time, Luke was fighting actively. He was also modeling, I believe. Modeling. Maybe I can insert some of the pictures here. So if you aren't familiar with who Luke Rockhold is, that maybe you can at least understand where I was coming from. I saw this man, I said, oh, he's a fighter. I think I could probably, I love this fighting stuff, right? I had like little heart eyes for Luke, okay? I had little heart eyes for him. I knew nothing about him. I really knew nothing about his fighting career. He was just somebody that I saw and I said, oh, I like that. And if he's gonna be on the TV on Saturdays when you're watching UFC, then yeah, I'd probably watch that. I'm just getting to know fighter names. I'm just becoming familiar with faces. It was pretty exciting because we live here in Vegas. We were starting to go out more as a family and attend a lot of the UFC events that are available to us around town. So we were doing these things and it was sparking my interest. And then UFC 200 International Fight Week here in Las Vegas, Nevada. It was a huge fight card, a super exciting fight week. Brandon and I decided that we were going to go to the UFC Fan Fest. The Fan Fest was held at the Las Vegas Convention Center. We did pay to get in. They've had like fan experiences that are free. This matters. To me, it matters. We paid full ticket price for both of us to get in. Also during this time, I just want to say this, I don't know if it's important to the story or not, but we did not have very much money at all. This was like a big deal to us that it was like a date day. We had bought these tickets. We were so excited to go to the Fan Fest. He had been to many Fan Fests previously, so he was completely prepared. He knew what to expect, but it was my first time ever being to any kind of UFC Fan Fest. It was a big deal to us. It was a special day, and looking back now, I realize at the time I was dealing with some generalized anxiety. I didn't know it at the time that I was dealing with that. I knew that I didn't feel right that day. I knew that I was experiencing some things and I was uncomfortable. But at the time, I didn't know that I had anxiety. I wasn't really sure what anxiety was, but looking back, I think that does kind of play a role in this story. So I thought I'd throw that in there, that as excited as I was uncomfortable during certain parts of that whole experience. It was all personal to me. It's just what I was going through. So anyways, let's get to the story. So we're on our day date. We're at the UFC Fan Fest. We paid to get in, and it's a situation where there's a ton of fighters. You can sign up on certain lists, certain times to meet certain fighters if you want to. You can wait in line. There were lines for so many different fighters. We got to meet quite a few people that day, actually. We met Stipe, we met Sage Northcutt, we met Eddie Bravo that day. Like, so many cool things happened. But that day, I was there to meet the one and only Luke Rockhold. Okay, so you have, when you go inside, you have different stations. Like I said, you can meet different fighters. There was also the Hall of Fame awards that day, all different kinds of little experiences within the experience itself. Any of the fighters that you wanted to meet, all of that was covered by your ticket price. You don't have to pay extra for that, you know. So let me get to the Luke part. So we walk around all day, we met a few fighters, we're having a great time. It comes time for Luke's scheduled appearance in the afternoon, and I already had known that he was scheduled to be at the MetroPCS booth. So he was at a booth that was ran by MetroPCS. They had all their marketing stuff out, but that's just where he was standing to actually meet the fans. So I'm all excited. I go to get in line to meet Luke. I had been waiting all day. And when I got in line, I found out then there was an entire process through MetroPCS that you had to do in order to meet Luke. I'm gonna lay the process out here for you. They had an entire filming station set up. They had a box filled of MetroPCS t-shirts, the purple t-shirts with hats. They had all kinds of like photo props, like the boas, the funny hats, the funny glasses, all that kind of stuff in this box. Obviously, this is all pre-COVID. Can you imagine this happening now? So you walk up there, they have an entire filming station set up. You are supposed to choose out of the box what you want to wear. You sign a waiver saying that the video that they're about to take of you can be used for whatever UFC purposes that MetroPCS wants to include it in. You sign the waiver, you put on these clothes, and then you freaking film a MetroPCS commercial standing right there in front of Luke Rockhold, in front of everybody else waiting. It wasn't like a closed off thing. It's right out there in the open. And I said to the lady, excuse me? What? I'm not filming a fucking commercial. I'm not doing a commercial for MetroPCS. I'm not putting on your clothes, lady. I'm gonna say something else. You're gonna see in the pictures, I was a lot heavier then. I was heavier, okay? I was uncomfortable this day already. I didn't like what I was wearing. I didn't feel comfortable in what I was wearing. I didn't like how I looked. I was a sweaty mess on top of the anxiety. And it's my turn to like meet Luke Rockhold, and she wants me to choose out of this box of clothes. So I'm like, at first I was like, okay, like this totally freaking sucks and I don't want to do this. But he's like literally right there. He's right there. He can hear this conversation. He's looked over at me, asking questions. And I was like, well, I gotta freaking do it. Like, he obviously knows I want to meet him. Well, I think he knows. I think I made it obvious enough. So I have to film this freaking commercial. And I start digging through the box, looking for a larger t-shirt. Mind you, there's no changing room. Like, you literally throw the t-shirt on top of whatever clothes you're wearing. You do that right there in front of everybody, which I'm not usually somebody, here's the thing, I'm very outgoing. Right now, I'd probably go up there and film the best freaking MetroPCS commercial that anybody did in that entire freaking convention center. If I'm being real with myself, okay? If it was today, and it was a situation, first of all, I wouldn't. But second of all, if I had to, I would go and film the best commercial that they've ever seen, okay? At the time, and looking back now, knowing I was dealing with the anxiety already that day, and then being so uncomfortable about having to put this t-shirt on right in front of Luke, right in front of all these people, I kind of started to lose it. And I was like, lady, listen here. Listen, lady, listen. I paid full price to get in here. He is the reason I'm here today. I came here so that I could meet him. I've been here all day. I have waited patiently. I got in line early. I knew he was coming at, say, 3 o'clock. So my crazy ass has been waiting in his line since 2:15. I guarantee you, right? Because I was like, this is happening today. I had this moment with her where I'm like, lady, come here, lady. You and me, we need to have a talk, okay? I need you to understand this is really freaking important to me. And I'm not filming your freaking commercial. I'm not putting on your nasty t-shirt, and I'm certainly not putting on some hat that's been passed around this entire convention center today. I need to meet Luke Rockhold right now. And you know what that bitch did? Well, everybody else is doing it. This is how, if you want to meet him, this is how you're going to meet him. I lost my shit, you guys. I lost my shit. I went off on her. Mind you, Luke is still right there. He's still right there. And he's meeting the people who have graciously gone and fit into their cute little MetroPCS t-shirt. And they filmed their stupid little commercial with the big dumb glasses and the boa. And like, oh, MetroPCS, like, haha. And then they sign their little waiver like, yeah, of course you could use this footage for whatever you want. Whatever you want. You guys, it was a waiver. That footage, once they have it, they could have done whatever they wanted with it. And I told that, the lady was like, listen, I don't know what to tell you. I offered to pay her more money. I really did. I'm a broke ass bitch. I mean, I'm still a broke ass. I shouldn't say that. At the time, I was definitely a broke ass bitch. I said, dude, can I slip you a 20? And like, you could just let me go around the line. Like, it literally wasn't a big deal. Once you filmed your commercial, you just walk right around the corner and you go meet him. So I'm like, why can't, like, nobody said when I bought my tickets for this convention, Fan Fest, that I was gonna have to also film a commercial in order to meet him. And he was the only one, you guys, he was the only one that was set up like this. Complete devastation. I went off on this bitch. I told her exactly how it was. All the stuff I just told you. I freaking paid to be here. This is ridiculous that you want me to sign a waiver saying you could use this video footage of me. Like, they're not letting people review it. It's not like you shoot a commercial and then you get to say like, okay, yeah, I'm good with that. It was like and here's the thing, looking back, I know I did see commercials of MetroPCS people. After knowing what I looked like that day, let's be real, I wasn't going to probably end up in a commercial that day. Okay, let's just be real. But the idea that it was like, you have to do this, irritated me so bad, and I was devastated. So let's get to the end of the story. I told her, you're a bitch. You are a bitch. You've handled this so, whatever. I completely went off. I let her know. And it's not necessarily her fault if that's her job. Looking back, I mean, now that the whole Karen thing has happened and we've had a little bit of revolution here, we can understand that she was just showing up that day and did her freaking job. She was told what the rules were and she had to pass those rules along to me. Her attitude and her bitchiness was unwarranted and unnecessary. And I felt at the time like she did it because she knew how bad I wanted to meet him, and she was just being a bitch. So I had to let her know. Meanwhile, like I said, Luke is here, still meeting people the whole time. At this point, Brandon was never with me because of the Hall of Fame award ceremony and stuff. He had gone to save us seats for that while I was supposed to be meeting Luke. So he had no idea that any of this was going down, nobody knew about the commercial thing until you were right up there. Like, it's really kind of like they just sprung it on you. And I don't know if I went over and ended up telling him what was happening or what, but we came back to where Luke was. And he said, just stand right here. I'm going to take a picture of you and Luke. I said, no, that's ridiculous. That, like, I'm not doing that. Like, that looks so stupid. Like, everybody can tell what we're doing after I've already made this scene about trying to meet him. You want me to just casually stand here while you stand back and, like, snap a picture? You guys know what I'm talking about. Like, the whole high school thing where you, like, pretend to take a picture of your friend, but, like, the hot guy is, like, in the picture also because you really just wanted a picture of the hot guy. Don't act like you didn't do that. He tried to pull that off for me, and I was so embarrassed. Not to mention, I love my husband. He is not that gifted with the photo taking skills. So I'm telling him, no, let's just go. I'm starting to have, like, I think a panic attack at this point. I don't realize it at the time that that's what's happening. Looking back, I do. So I'm like, no, we need to just go. Like, let's get out of here. I don't ever want to see Luke again in my life. I am mortified. I am so embarrassed. I am so uncomfortable. We need to go. And he was like, no, I'm taking the picture of you and Luke. You better stand there and smile. Like, we're not leaving without a picture of you and Luke. You guys, here's the picture. Here's the picture. That's my picture with Luke. So also, while I'm standing there on the other side of, it's just a rope, he's right there. We're literally feet from each other. Him and I made eye contact a couple times. He knew what was going on. And I think he thought it was bullshit too. I don't know for sure. I don't even know if they told him before he showed up there, like, hey, people have to film a commercial in order to meet you. Oh, like I said, this was the only station like this. Every other station, like, say for instance, Chris Weidman that day was at the Monster station. So Monster's a sponsor. They had an entire booth set up. Chris Weidman was there signing autographs, meeting people. And Monster, their thing, they gave out free Monsters. You walk up, you have the whole Monster experience, you meet Chris Weidman, and you leave with a Monster. And that is how it should be for everybody. Luke's station was the only one like that. It was a disaster. I embarrassed myself. Never ended up meeting him. Did make eye contact with him, which I settled for. It's enough. Like, this has been 4 years, 5 years now. Like, I'm over the heartbreak. I settled for the eye contact. And we'll see what happens in the future going forward if I ever have a chance to kind of redeem this situation. And hopefully I get a chance to actually meet him. And maybe now that I'm more self-aware, now that I know myself better, I won't be such a spaz about it. He also added me to his security list and said, hey, keep an eye out for this lady. And if you ever see her, run. I wouldn't be surprised if that's what happened. Anyhow, I doubt Luke will ever see this. But Luke, if you did, I tried. I really did. I tried my best. I was right there. I was so close. I didn't try my best. I could have tried harder. I could have done the commercial. But would you have? For free? Well, I guess it wasn't for free. Like, you would have gotten to me yourself. But do you get what I'm saying? Do you get what I'm saying? Would you guys, if you're watching this, would you have done this? Would you, in my shoes, have just been like, okay, hi, I love MetroPCS, like, and I love UFC, and whatever else that they wanted to say with, like, all this weird props that weren't even cute, like, didn't even look good, and then sign a waiver so that they could just use that whenever they wanted? Like, does anybody else, was it just that I was anxious that day? Was it that I was overweight and already uncomfortable with myself and didn't want to have to search through a box to find a t-shirt that could fit me? Is that it? I don't know. Was it the anxiety? I don't know. I think it was the heartbreak. I really do. When she looked at me and she was basically like, there is no option for you to meet him unless you film this stupid commercial for me right here, I think my heart just broke and I lost my shit. They didn't kick me out or anything. I didn't get in trouble. I kind of know my limits, but I had to let her know. I had to let her know. Listen, lady, listen. This is BS. Anyways, next time I try to meet Luke, if I ever try to meet him again, if I do meet him again, I hope it goes down way better than that. The whole day, you know, looking back at the pictures, I'm happy that we have the pictures. I'm going to show you a couple here. The one when we met Stipe, we met Sage. I didn't go up and meet Chris Weidman. I wasn't familiar with him at the time, but I did take a picture of him in his little booth. On this day, we also got to see Nate in person. We did not wait in line to meet him. His line was extremely long, and anxiety. I didn't want to wait in the line, but we got really close to him. We got to see him in person, and that was awesome. And we've gone back to other fan fests. We've gone to the fan fest. We've gone to the International Fight Week, the convention, the UFC convention things, and I haven't seen this type of situation ever again since then. At the fan fest, they have all these cool experiences set up that you, interactive things that you could do. This one here is like where you walk up and you kind of pose up and then they face you off with a fighter. So you'll see like Paige and I here, like that was so cool. Like all these things when you go to a fan fest, I don't want to put a bad taste in your mouth for the fan fest at all. And in no way do I even think this was a UFC thing. It was definitely just MetroPCS's weird booth setup, right? I would never tell anybody not to go. It was just an odd experience that I thought would be a great story time, and I'd share it with you guys. I hope you enjoyed this story. I hope wherever you're at, you're having a wonderful day, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.